To conclude our three-part series, Viking Fusion interviewed Madronica Askew, the new Suicide Prevention Project Director and Coordinator at Berry College. Askew studied psychology at Sewanee, the University of the South, and has been in the field of human behavior and counseling for more than 18 years. She has direct experience helping people going through emotional or mental crises in both emergency and counseling scenarios.
I became a behavioral health first responder, and so in that role, I was actually going out to people who were physically or mentally, emotionally in distress, experiencing a mental health crisis, and a lot of times it was a suicide attempt or having suicidal ideation. Before I became a behavioral health first responder, I worked as a counselor in different settings. So I worked with children, adults, even some seniors, and also worked with addiction population.
Askew said the pandemic worsened a lot of people's mental health, which is what encouraged her to help others through her work in suicide prevention and awareness.
I feel like a lot of mental health distress and duress comes from feeling isolated naturally and from feeling helpless and hopeless. And the pandemic just exacerbated that. So we were all isolated and we all felt helpless. And, initially I believe that we all felt hopeless as well, and that was why I wanted to do something to be able to give my expertise to my community and to be able to help people.
She said that the awareness campaign project on campus is fighting to break down the walls of stigma.
At Berry, we're doing the Viking Campus Suicide Prevention Project, and we are trying to reduce stigma, but it's a very, almost like a taboo subject to talk about. And so as we're going about doing different programmings and different suicide prevention trainings, we're trying to reduce stigma that is prevalent, and we're doing what we can, but it's still, there's still a long ways to go.
Last September, the project hosted an event designed to help students create their own anchor boxes.
So the participants at that workshop are going to create an anchor box. The box includes all kinds of suicide prevention awareness messages, letters. It has buttons, pins, a music playlist, and it's for the person who creates it to hold on to it as long as you feel like you need it, and then place it somewhere on Berry's campus so that if someone is struggling, they can come along and find this resource, this anchor box.
Askew also mentioned Oasis, a resource and support app tailored for students at Berry.
What we wanted to do is provide resources through that app that are available during the business day from 8 to 5, and then also 24/7 resources.
She said there are plenty of resources out there for people nationwide experiencing mental health crises, including the new phone and text hotline 988 that was launched in July this year.
Historically, the National Suicide Hotline or Suicide Lifeline was routed to Georgia Crisis and Access Line. And so now with the change of the National Lifeline to the 988 number, we are hopeful that it will reduce just kind of wait times and the barriers to access to that kind of care.
Askew noted that with the existence of 988, there will be an easier way for police officers and mental health crisis responders to work together to de-escalate situations.
So the police is going to continue to be very instrumental in the rollout of 988 and mental health crisis, but I feel like a lot of times whereas the police would go alone, now the police will have a mental health professional with them, which is much more safe for a person that is experiencing a mental health challenge or crisis.
She said the best way to address and undo the stigma of suicide is to open a discussion with others in the community.
I feel like as a community, if we could start there, the best way would be to promote and to host events such as what we've been doing on campus this month, just providing a place and a space to talk about suicide. And I feel like Berry has done an excellent job of doing that. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicide, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. With Viking Fusion, I'm Addison Howard.